Good morning, everyone. There's lots of seats down front. It's just like church. If you're late, you have to sit down next to the pastor. And give you 30 seconds to find a chair. Good morning, everyone. And welcome to the 2019 Collegewide Spring Opening Meeting. I'm Brad Stewart, and I'm the Vice President and Provost here at the Takoma Park Silver Spring campus. And on behalf of our faculty, staff, and students, welcome to the campus. It's glad to have another semester. Our spring opening meeting theme is MC Proud, telling our own stories. And you're going to hear some wonderful stories today. But if I might take a bit of MC privilege, here's my opening story thing. MC has become home for me. This is the longest place I have set down roots in my career in higher education. And I was trying to describe how it feels to me that my journey's finally got me home. But like usual, I'm sort of at a loss for words. So I turned to my favorite source for inspiration, Bruce Springsteen. And here everybody has a neighbor, everybody has a friend, everybody has a reason to begin again. My father said, "Son, we're lucky in this town. It's a beautiful place to be born. It just wraps its arms around you, and nobody goes it alone." And I'll leave it right there with that. And I'd like to introduce now our first student story of the day. It is my privilege to invite the audience to view a video message from a student, MC14, recent alumna here at the Takoma Park campus, Yi Lu.
Good morning. My name is Yi Liu. I'm a proud alumni of MC. I'm a genetic counseling student at Virginia Commonwealth University. I started at Montgomery College. MC is a very reputable community college, and I just recently learned it's the most diverse community college around the country, and I think I will feel very comfortable to fit in. Yeah, I started one semester, then I was thinking, this is a great place, a small class, and I don't want to. When I transferred to UMBC, then I really realized like 300 people taking one class. That is really not good for English as a second language speaker. Yeah, so I started at here, like 20 people, the maximum students at here. So I think it's a very good setting for immigrants. And for myself, I get a lot of personal attention, and I feel the format fits me. I wanted to help people using customized medicine. I wanted to be a scientist and a servant for the public health. My pathway to this dream led me to spend 2 years as a fellow at the National Institutes of Health doing post-bac research. There, I find genetic counseling. As a genetic counselor, I can be a scientist, an educator, and a policymaker. This field is growing every day. I love being a genetic counselor. I will constantly learning new information and updating my knowledge. As an educator, being a genetic counselor, we treat and teach not only the individual patient, but we also treat the family and the community and the society. In the globalization of genomics medicine, being as a genetic counselor, I want to teach genomics medicine to the communities and the countries that are now new to this field. As a policymaker, genomics medicine involves a lot of ethical issues. We must create guidelines to protect human rights and privacy. Because we are living in this complex multicultural society, I wanted to contribute to making guidelines for health providers to interact with the patients and family members from different cultural backgrounds. This spring at MC, I'm so excited to participate in the genetic counseling seminar. I will share my passion for this work in the genetic counseling profession with the students and the community here. I hope to open student eyes to the rewarding possibilities in this field. I'm so grateful for the start of my educational journey at Montgomery College. I highly value my faculty, counselors, and fellow students' experience here. Now, as a proud MC alumni, I would love to introduce the president of Montgomery College, Dr. Darion Paulett.
Good morning, everyone. Well, I hope that you are doing well today on this nice frigid morning. Welcome back to everyone who is returning, and Happy New Year. 2020 is upon us, and I'm sure that it's going to be a wonderful year. I'm claiming that. Now, it may not feel like the turn of a decade, but I think for all of us, we know that this is a very important moment as we look at what lays before us. First of all, let me take a chance to show this terrific holiday photo with you. Now, no family should be without matching pajamas for the holidays. Now, I know since Miles turned 13 just yesterday, I know for a fact that we will not be able to take more of these pictures too much longer, but I am saving them for the future when we will get to show them in public places and embarrass him profusely. But we're taking advantage of all these moments that we can as a family. Second, I want to recall the relaxation that I hope that many of you had over the holiday season. We work very hard at the college. We do incredibly important work here, and that time away is truly important to recharge. Resting allows us to be our best for the people around us, for our students, for our families, and certainly for our colleagues. Speaking of our best, that is a lot on the horizon that you're going to be hearing more about, and it requires us to be our best in everything that we do. We'll be starting off the new strategic plan, MC 2025, in July 1 of this year, and we'll be advancing several key initiatives for student success, such as our Raptor Central, Start Smart, and scheduling for student success. We'll be partnering with the county on some exciting new initiatives, one of which involves Apple Inc. At the same time, we're improving our campus safety. You hear more about that today, while promoting equity and inclusion and expanding our reach into the community. So we're not going to tackle all of that today because I want the theme today to be focused on MC Proud. Over the break, I thought a lot about how much we have going on at the college and just how proud we should be of what we're accomplishing. When I have some downtime, I get to journaling about gratitude. In fact, many of you have probably heard me talk about this. Every day, I try to write down at least 5 things that I'm grateful for. And some days when I first started this, it was a journey to try and get 5 things I was grateful for. I'd be grateful for a hot cup of tea, or I'd be grateful for the sunshine. Now my list is expansive, and I actually have to make myself stop writing sometimes because the gratitude is significant for all of the things that I get to experience and be a part of. Most of our victories here at the institution is about thinking about how we celebrate our successes very widely about the students we serve and the communities we get to serve. Most of our victories are cumulative of years of work. We lay a foundation, we find partners, we mentor our students, and some kind of magic just seems to happen. The outcomes that we get to build on are built on investments of time, energy, planning, and really that special spirit of Montgomery College. Some folks would call it persistence and grit, but that kind of takes the miracle out of it when we call it that. Some of the outcomes allow us to say that our students go beyond any formula that we may have predicted for them. And we need to congratulate ourselves on these. We need some investments in our college pride account. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I want you to tuck a few of these things around when you think about MC Pride and think about your collection of ideas. This fall, the college continued to drive student success by signing a memorandum of understanding with Identity, Inc. In case you don't know, Identity helps more than 3,000 youth and their families who live in high poverty areas of Montgomery County. The Montgomery College Foundation has invested $36,000 in scholarships for Identity students to help study clinical medical assistants, automotive technicians, and child development at no cost. That's opportunity in a nutshell. Since we know that food insecurity is out there, mobile markets distributions rose by 18 in the second half of the year. With 16 markets from July to December, thousands of students, faculty, staff, and community members were served. Helping folks close the gaps between their budget and their food needs frees them up to study or to work or to care for their families, and we should take great pride in that. These grab and go bags are another treat for busy students, and they also help fight food insecurity. Now, keeping students well-fueled is just one element of success at Montgomery College. Getting them ready early in math and science helps the college build the STEM pipeline for the county. Events like the 2019 Maryland STEM Festival, which brought 400 seventh graders to the Bioscience Education Center on the Germantown campus, is yet another strategy. Another is targeted outreach to young people who are underrepresented, such as female students in STEM. The Sonia Kowaleski Day at the college hosted 54 middle school girls for a day-long conference that included sessions on internet safety, robotics, and chemistry experiments. Now, I've said before that while I love the fact that I have a few degrees in English, I'm fairly certain that I may have ended up a science or engineering major had I had the opportunities to experience these types of exposures to STEM early on. And it's so gratifying to see that our students and potential students are having the opportunities for those experiences. Now, speaking of targeted audiences, our Maryland Male Students of Color event this year drew a packed house as usual. Steve Perry was a speaker. And as many of you know, we're putting a lot of energy into planning for African American Male Success Initiative this year. This is a direct response into some data from our Student Success Scorecard, so look for more developments in this area in the very near future. Also, striving and driving student success this year has been the Montgomery College Foundation. In case you missed this exciting announcement at the Raptor Tank this spring, the Gordon and Marilyn Macklin Foundation has made a lead gift of $1.22 million to create the Macklin Business Institute Finance Lab. This is the largest gift. This is the largest gift in the Montgomery College Foundation's of $30 million campaign, and the college is grateful to Don Don's leadership in this space. It's a matching gift that will be used by hundreds of MBI and finance students, as well as workforce development programs. And when completed, the lab will be, to our knowledge, the only operating finance lab at a community college in the country. Yeah. I like to say that that is a transformational MC proud moment right there. And I do hope that the Macklin examples will inspire others to help support our students here at Montgomery College. By the way, this gift is cutting edge in that it supports interactive finance-related simulations and specialized software for our students. Now, while we're on the topic of progress in IT, I want to give a shout out to our faculty and staff who've been working so hard to implement Workday. Now, I know that many of our employees are doing double time, and that's a heavy lift, doing their day-to-day jobs and also being a part of the design and implementation of the new system. I want you all to know that I'm very grateful to you. I know that it takes a lot, and many of you are working extremely long hours to do this work, and I hear it all the time from our IT professionals who talk about our subject area specialists in HR and finance who are so key to us being successful in this. My hats are off to all of you for the extra work that is going off in this space. So let me add one more program that brings me great pride this past year, the Montgomery Can Code Summer Camps. Now these served 300 students last summer, 7th and 8th graders, who took 1 week of free coding camp at the college. It was so successful that the program is being scaled to serve 1,000 students this summer. It's a partnership between the college, the college, Apple Inc., and the Montgomery County Economic Development Corporation and the Montgomery County Council. The goal is to get middle schoolers excited about coding and hooked on Swift programming. Now, Apple invited me there to their headquarters just a few weeks ago to talk about this partnership, and they're particularly thrilled about the way and the model in which we are using to do this. And I suspect we'll be hearing more about our partnership with them in the next few months. Now, part of Apple's interest, of course, is in building the workforce pipeline. So I want to mention a few wins in the college's Workforce Development and Continuing Education Division this fall. 32 students graduated with certificates from the Clinical Trials Project Management Program. Now, these students have already earned a 4-year degree, but are advancing their careers through further 13-week program in this specialized area. 90% of the 215 students who have gone through this program, which is run with Amarex Clinical Research, have found employment in a field with increased salaries. This is why I believe that Montgomery College and community colleges across the country are becoming the new finishing schools for America's educational system. In another vital profession, the college's first class of 911 dispatchers graduated from a new 3-month program. 19 students completed certificates to work in emergency fields, and many have applied to work in the county. This is just one of many relative short-term trainings that prepare students for middle-skill jobs without necessarily having a college degree. And by the way, we have gotten calls already from our peers across the state which are trying to figure out how to set up their own 911 responders program. So this has been a win for our institution, for our students, for the county, and perhaps for the state as this program continues to grow. Another trifecta this fall was MC nursing students who traveled to Warsaw, Virginia to work on the remote area medical free clinic. Students helped provide 519 patients with over $235,000 in free dental, vision, and medical care. Yeah, that's something to clap up, y'all. This experience is terrific for our students. It serves a profound public need and allows the college to expand its reach and impact. Now, another terrific story at the nexus of the workforce development and continuing education area is that of Jerry Williamson, a graduate of the college and also an HVAC professor here for some 50 years. Mr. Williamson earned his bachelor's degree from the University of Maryland's Global Campus and was the December student keynote speaker. He is 80 years young. That's right. Education never stops, and it's not always about training for a job. It's about the joy of learning, and you should know that he is currently applying for doctoral programs. I want to point out as well that staying active and engaged helps keep you young. And I've seen this as well with my own father who's visiting me right now. Every day we're talking about getting up and working out and taking a walk and following his diet plan as I try to follow my diet plan. But what's been very important is about the impact that allows him to have as he's connecting with the community. Civic engagement and civic connection is not just about the community, it's also good for the doer. Engaging with our communities and promoting democratic values are intrinsic in our mission and actually is what is spelled out in the Truman Commission report which founded the community college system in this country. President Truman himself laid out the importance of these colleges' impact in 1947 when he said, quote, "We are challenged by the need to ensure that higher education shall take its proper place in our national effort to strengthen democracy at home and to improve our understanding of our friends and to improve our understanding of our friends and neighbors everywhere in the world." Community colleges have a role to play, not in just serving communities, but in supporting basic democratic values that keep nations safe. I also want to thank our team of folks who've been actively engaged. I noticed several signs as we walked in today about the census. I hope that each of us recognize that being counted matters. It matters. It helps preserve the democracy, and I hope that each of you will be actively engaged in that as well. Now, Montgomery College does this work in many ways of preserving the democracy, and I'll give you just a sampling. This fall, 20 Montgomery College students participated in the National Model UN 3-day conference in Crystal City, Virginia. And I'm proud to say that both of our delegations won honorable mentions and 2 MC students won Best Position awards. 15 MC students, employees, and alumni were recognized in the fall by the Montgomery County Council for receiving the U.S. President's Volunteer Service Award. These 14 students and employees, plus an alum, served more than 4,500 hours of service to nonprofits, schools, health clinics, and government in the county. And I'm so proud of them because they're demonstrating to all of us what a good example of civic engagement looks like. It's about doing the small things as well as the big things to help preserve the way we believe a community should function. And finally, I'd like to engage you in practicing some civic engagement, and I have an idea for you. To attend my first Presidential Dialogue Series event of 2020. In case you missed this, this year is the 100th anniversary of the amendment that gave women the right to vote in the United States. Now, some of us in this room have grandmothers who could not vote, and now we're arguing over which of the multiple female candidates will make the best president. The suffrage movement dramatically pitted women's groups against one another and clashed with powerful political dynasties. I hope that you would join me and my 2 guests, Elaine Weiss and Dr. Elsa Barkley Brown, for a riveting discussion of the book, The Woman's Hour, The Great Fight to Win the Vote. And by the way, I understand that Steven Spielberg is making this book into a movie. So don't miss it. I think it should be a great conversation. So I want to thank you for joining me this morning on this celebration of the college and the journey that we've been on in this past semester. Now we're going to do something special to help energize the MC Proud movement. And I got this thought for one of our Food for Thought meetings earlier this year. These are events which randomly selected faculty and staff are invited to a discussion with me over an informal meal. We sit down and talk about things that are happening within the college community. Sometimes we abate a few rumors. Sometimes we start a few rumors, depending on what we need to talk about. But more importantly, at one of our sessions that we had this year, one of our colleagues said to me, "I am absolutely proud to work at Montgomery College." And when she said that, she set a completely different tone for the conversation that we had for the remainder of the hour. In fact, it started to feel a little bit like a revival as people started to share their experiences of how this organization has profoundly impacted them. So for me, today, I think it's important for you to hear them, to hear some of our colleagues share their perspectives. So I invited a panel of people who work at the college in different capacities from different sites to share their experience and their pride at working at Montgomery College. Even though we have shared the mission at Montgomery College, each person's work intersects with student success in unique ways. And there's something about telling your own story that puts you in this driver's seat. And I usually get some new perspectives about my own experience when I'm asked to talk about myself. So I'm going to ask our colleagues to introduce themselves briefly, to tell us what they enjoy about working at Montgomery College. And I have a few questions along the way. There's no tricks here. I told them to come as they want to come, be themselves. And more importantly, I hope that each of you will gain a sense of pride and understanding and perhaps deeper connection to each other and to our colleagues as they share a part of their story. So I'll ask you all to start off by introducing yourselves, telling us a little bit about how long you've been at the college, what you do here, and then we'll transition into a series of questions where I get to ask you about your experiences here at Montgomery College. So with that, I'll start all the far end, if you don't mind.
Hello, my name is Pam Taylor, and I work in the Office of the Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs. And the reason I would like to work here is because I was inspired by a speech in 2009 by President Obama. And he's mentioned how important that there were plenty of jobs in the United States. All we need to do is to get retrained and retooled. So he suggested that you contact or go to and sign up at the community college. So I decided, you know what, that's where I want to work, where I can help people and I help myself to get retrained and retooled.
That's pretty awesome. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Melissa Sprague, and I'm the interim chair of health sciences. And I started working 2002 as part-time faculty, and then 2006 as full-time, so 17 years. I'm a proud MC graduate, and I feel a strong connection with my students and with our grads. I love working with them as they struggle, because the struggle is real. I struggled. And so whether it's nursing or diagnostic medical sonography or physical therapist assistant program or one of the other health science programs, our demands are rigorous, but the rewards are definitely worth it.
Hi, I'm Ken Nelson. I work in workforce development, continuing education, and I like working here because I like making a difference in my community and in my personal life. Been here about 23 years, but didn't want to tell that story. I just like showing up to work.
I love it. Sarah?
Okay, my name is Sarah Khalifa. I'm a full-time faculty, Department of Biology, Blackwell campus. This is my 5th year, so relatively junior compared to you guys. The reason why I chose to work at MC is because I feel, well, I've worked for several years in different teaching institutions. I feel it's at MC that I saw students' lives change as a result of simple things that we do, like a conversation. So I want to be part of their life, and I am extremely proud to play that important role in their life when they're about to give up or just, lose hope. So I feel it's MC that really changed students' lives. I've never experienced that before. As I said, I taught graduate students at Howard University, George Mason University, but this is for the first time that I felt like students need me, and I feel that pride to be part of their life.
Thank you.
So that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm John Day. I'm the operations manager at the Germantown campus. I've been with the college 30 years now. I enjoy, thank you. The pleasure's been all mine. It's been an incredibly rewarding experience. I enjoy working at the college because I get to be part of something that's much larger than me. We get to give back to others. We get to give to the community, to students, and give people a shot at something better than what they have. It's quite rewarding.
So I'll go back. My question to you is actually asking you to tell about a specific experience. So I invite you, if you could tell a story about your Montgomery College experience that makes you particularly proud to work at Montgomery College. And I can start with you, Pamela, if you like.
Sure. Not a public speaker, so excuse me if I stumble a little bit, but I'm just so proud of being here, and I was able to use the tools that my husband and I love flipping houses. That's what we do in our spare time. We like to flip them, design them, and then we like to sell them. So I decided, like, after I got here, I was like, what can I do with my passion, plus assist students here at Montgomery College? I said, I'm deciding I'm going to try to work in the facilities department. I said, in facilities, I know the terminologies, and I love just designing. So right now, I'm so proud that when I go to the Rockville campus, there's not one building that I can go to that I know I touched. I did a design in that building with the permission of my director at the time, was Dr. Mark Carmody. But now I work in academics. So it reminds me of a quote I heard from Steve Jobs, and it says, job satisfaction is more than a paycheck. And that's why I feel that I love being at Montgomery College, because everything that I do here is more than about being paid. It's because of the satisfaction of you touching someone else's life. And because of the way I was brought up, I was raised in Harlem by grandparents. So I didn't have anyone to speak into my life about college. So when my husband and I decided to have children, I said, I'm going to go to college at the same time that they do. And that's what I did. I got certified so I can get a good job to help pay for their college education. But then I decided to go to community college. They were going to university, but I decided to go to community college so they can see me study. And I came here working for continuing ed, and then I just kept moving up. And then I kept volunteering at different things, equity and conclusion. I love just doing anything that I can help. And my favorite time is the first of the semester, because I can put my little button on, you can ask me for help. And I was directing students all around campus, trying to help them find their building. It's just a rewarding feeling. I can sleep good at night.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. John, I'm jumping around. See, I told you I was going to go off script. John, do you have a story about your MC experience you'd like to share?
I've got a bunch of them. Actually, I do have one, and I've been approached by a number of new employees, young, older, and they'll say, you introduce yourself. Oh, how long have you been at the college? Well, I've been here 25 years, 28 years. It keeps going up.
Funny how that happens.
And yeah, it's funny how it works. Time goes by quick. And they say, well, why have you stayed here so long? And I usually say the same thing. I said, when I came to the college, I was a 26-year-old long-haired kid that had a couple little babies at home, seen an ad in the paper and figured, I'll give this a shot, ride this out. Well, Dr. Pollard, the ride's been 30 years now. The college, I soon realized, was much more than an institution. The college had meaning. The people I worked with were not co-workers, they were family. The college has given so much to me and my family. It's given me time off with my kids. It's given us vacations, holidays together, and probably most importantly, an education for 3 boys that may not otherwise have been able to go the paths they've went. I'm very grateful to Montgomery College. The college is not an employer, it's a purpose, it's an institution unlike any other that I could imagine that I would have ever been part of. And I'm very grateful to be here, to be able to give back for so much that's been given to me and my family. It's been an incredible, rewarding experience.
Melissa, you shared something similar to me when we were in the back as well. Would you like to tell a little bit about your story?
So my story actually is my students' story. So I love working with the students, and I had one student from South Korea. He had only been here for a few years, got into the nursing program. His name is Chuck. If you're at Holy Cross Germantown, Holy Cross Silver Spring, everybody knows Chuck. So I worked with Chuck. He just excelled. I mean, he did the ESL classes, and then he got into the nursing program, and he just excelled. And he's just having such an impact on our nursing students that go there and work with him. My own two daughters worked at Holy Cross Germantown with him, and my grandson actually looks up to Chuck and actually wanted glasses just like Chuck, because Chuck wears these really big glasses. But so I mean, he just has an impact on the nurses that he works with, the patients that he has, and he's advancing his degree now and going on to become a nurse practitioner. And I think I'm proud to work here because of stories like that his life changed because we empowered it. We helped to make it change. So I think that's, his story and all my students' stories is why I'm so happy to be here.
Sarah, you have a story?
Yes, my story is, you see, at MC, it's the first time that I have witnessed how a person's life can change. I mean, this is really powerful. I always thought I'm trained to be like, a neuroscientist, publishing papers, my name up on papers and whatever. But I have never gotten that satisfaction, that happiness, that joy that I'm feeling when I'm helping my students. I always come to it. That's what I always tell my students too. I mean, how nice is it to be paid to do your hobby? I come to work, I'm not even joking when I say that. I tell them I never come to work feeling like, oh my God, I need to go to work, here's another day. I feel like, oh my God, who would I encounter today? Is there a person in a hallway, a student who's lost, who's looking for someone with that face? I look at my students' faces and I often go like, is everything good? Like, do you need me? Do you need to talk? That's when they open up. I often cry with them. It's embarrassing. They give me tissues. Oh, Dr. Khalifa, I didn't mean to make you cry. but their stories, it's just so, it's unbelievable. My experience at MC, I've been here only 4 years, but it's so empowering. I had a student, it was 3 semesters ago. So whenever I start my semesters, I always give my students a thorough introduction about myself. They need to know who their professor is, I actually don't even teach the first class of the semester. So after I was done with my introduction, she comes forward to me and she says, thank you, Dr. Khalifa, for what you have just said. I don't even remember what I said, but it must have, I swear I don't remember. So I must have said something that has impacted her so much that she decided to stay in school. And I said, what were you thinking? She said, I just enrolled for classes just because. Single mom, struggling. She thought, I hope I didn't say anything bad. She hugged me and here's another story. I have a lot of stories like this. I'm sorry.
Can I come back to your story?
Sure.
Then can I come right
Okay,
back
good.
to your story? Because I'm going to invite you to do it again because I'm going to go to Ken. Because I know Ken has an experience or two he'd love to share.
Well, I'm not going to match all of you guys. But I do have one that's a little difficult to talk about because sometimes we get phone calls and we just answer the call and we try to offer people an opportunity. Not always they respond to that. We have partners who work with us and they tell us, you got to help this person out. Would you help them, please? And then you go to call the student and they don't answer their phone. They don't answer a text. They don't do anything. And then you call and you connect and you say, this is who you need to talk to. And they'll say, well, where's the money? And we have a great foundation team who helps us find money. And this one student, after I told them, this is what you do, they said, okay, and they hung up the phone, and I never heard from them for about 3 years. They found me at an event,
嗯
and they said, you don't know who I am. My name is, you took my call, I took your advice, I went through the courses in the health field. Now I have a job at Shady Grove Hospital. I came 25 miles to tell you thank you.
Wow.
The first time I met this woman was after she traveled 25 miles to find me at an event that I was trying to hide at.
I think I've been in a few of those events with you.
Yes, you have.
But what I think is particularly potent about what you said is all these interactions that we have with students. I met with a colleague not too long ago, and she said to me, I said, what is the one thing you think that we should be doing about student success at the college? And she said to me, I wish that everybody would remember every interaction with a student could be a deciding point for them. And I was kind of profoundly struck by that. And she said, some ways in which I hear how people talk to each other, let alone how they talk to students or talk to community members. They don't know, whether it be a phone call, whether it be someone you see in the hallway, as so many of you said. Each of those interactions are important. And Judy Taylor, I know she's in this room, but I will never forget this. We're talking about financial aid one day, and she said, we have to remember that when people are standing in line, they're there for a reason. And I kind of paused, and she said, just think about that. All the ways in which we have people can interact with us at the college, but the fact that they're standing in a line, whether that be a financial aid line, a registration line, a counseling line, a food line, there's some reason they're standing in that line. And I have always remembered that. So when we see students standing in line, when I do, I always try to make sure, even if I'm just walking past, to greet them with a smile. If someone looks, has that countenance, has a tear in their eye, is frustrated, those momentary interactions might be the deciding point for some of those students. Melissa, I'm going to come to you on the next question. I think it was, you said you liked question 2, didn't you say? Go ahead. All right, you go to question 1. You do your thing.
Well, no,
No, do your thing.
No, I already talked about
All
question
right,
1.
so let me ask you this. Can you recall any particular innovation or creativity in operations or teaching and learning that have demonstrated the depth of commitment that MC employees have to their students?
I think in the health sciences specifically, the innovation of just simulation.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the most amazing facility. The use of simulation, the scenarios that we construct, I mean, our faculty come up with them, whether it's in nursing or radiology technology, surge tech. Our students actually simulate being part of a surgery in the OR. So I think those are very innovative ways that we use to teach our students. We take tours with, people from the community, council members, other educators in universities and colleges, and everybody says, how amazing our health science building is. But I still think it goes back to the commitment of the faculty and the staff, because they're the ones that are doing it. They're the ones that are making all the machinery and all the simulation lab and the mannequins work. So I think the commitment of our faculty and staff is pretty innovative too, that we're very committed. So.
Sarah?
The commitment we have for our students at MC, I believe, is demonstrated by the strong relationship we have with our students. I strongly believe relationships are the heart of great teaching. I had a student one time, it was about 4 semesters ago. It's a student who has graduated from MC. She showed up to my 9 a.m. class with a bouquet of flowers and a cake. She personally came to wish me happy birthday. I felt like this is powerful. This is beyond teacher-student relationship. For me, caring pedagogies do not require us to lower our standards or to cross boundaries. They just simply require that we be present for our students as fellow human beings.
Shivers right there.
Yeah. And that we invest ourselves in helping them. So serving MC students has positively influenced me in a way that I gained compassion and empathy for our students. You see, I went to school in Germany, so I had to learn the German language to go to veterinary medical school. I struggled, I suffered, I had all the challenges that you can imagine. So MC gave me the platform to see myself again in my students. And also the power to be the professor that I always wanted to have when I was struggling. So I think that is extremely deep. And my students see that in me, I guess, whenever I pour my heart and soul to them, and we build that connection. So that's why I'm extremely proud and actually humbled to work at MC.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pam, I'll go to you, that same question.
Yes. MC gave me the opportunity to also work on my desire to mentor students. In the community that I live in, my husband and I got to mentor marriages for about 10 years. And then I was asked to head a youth program, and I did that for 10 years. So prior to coming to MC, I got to work with young adults for 3 years. So when I came to MC, I said, oh, I wonder, do they have a mentoring program that they mentor students? Well, I did find out they did, and I had two students assigned to me. And I followed them for their 2 years. And I am so, so proud of them because I take them on like they were my own children. And they would come in and check in with me, but then they come in and ask for a pen. They'll come and ask for paper for class. And I was just so happy to just to supply them with that. And they wanted to talk about their own personal lives. And I just thought that was awesome because I went to a class here, it was called LDI. And actually it was you, Dr. Paula, you said, you said you should have a mission for yourself. And you said you should also have values for yourself. And you said you should go home and think of what is your own mission. So I took that advice and took it back to my community and for my youth group, and we did it. And then I also did that as well with the two students that I mentor here. Now, one of them is still working here. I'm so blessed by her because I see her because she got 2 degrees from here. She also now works here, and she checks on me all the time. It's full circle. And it's just the commitment. I just love just being a part of it, in any means.
Thank you, Pam. Ken?
Innovation. Have you ever tried to find a job in the early 80s and 90s and you had to go to this agency and you had to go to that agency and they didn't have the right job, and when you applied for the job wasn't there, and you had a wife or kids that wanted you to have a job? And you ever had, it's not a personal story. But there's an innovation, 2 innovations at this college that I am just elated to be part of, and that is the career coach tool that we've put together with WDC, Dr. Long and George Payne and a ton of other people at WDC put it together, and our career preparation guide. When those two are put in tandem together, a student has the ability, a learner has the ability to not only find out how much the course will cost, who to contact. They have information about potential openings. If they go into Career Coach, they not only find the openings, but they can submit their resumes on the spot, and it is so intuitive. Anybody that has a resume on a thumb drive, when they sign up, go in, they can apply for a job within 10 minutes. That, to me, is a great thing for people who are looking for a job, and I'm elated to be part of it. That's the best thing. Yeah.
John?
Well, you would think working in facilities that the contact that we have with the students is either non-existent or very limited just by the nature of what we do. but that's not
That's not
true.
true at all.
No. I was approached by a biology instructor with the new building, the BE building. My pride and joy. I have my heart and soul into it. So when someone wants to see something, I'm like showing off a kid. Wanted their students to look at the green technology. Okay, let me take them through the green roof, and I'm thinking, let me take them down into the central plant where we have the ammonia systems that are very energy efficient. It's green technology. It's not ozone depleting. And I took them through all these things, and I got to interact with 15 or 20 young people, and a couple that were older, and I got a great deal out of it. And then my email started getting dinged, and I'm like, well, this is pretty cool. I got these people these kids are biology. They're biology class. They're asking engineering questions and mechanical questions, and a couple of them I've maintained a rapport with. And I think that was one of the coolest things that's happened to me at the college, that maybe I opened their mind up to something other than biology. They had never seen these things. They probably never would have seen this central plant. Maybe a movie or something, but that's different. But to see it and walk through it, and maybe, just maybe, I unlock something in them. And when I get older, I will read a trade magazine. I know that person. They've designed this, or they're a leader in the industry now, or they've come up with a new technology. So it's very cool when you can give back, but that giving back also gives you something. And that's a very unique experience with Montgomery College.
I love that. I think our students are so fortunate because so many of our facilities team, our groundskeepers, all of the folks who are not directly in front of students, but who are oftentimes behind the scenes, have such rich interaction with students. And that example of giving learning context, but also oftentimes just simply seeing students. You'll be surprised the amount of literature that's out there that talks about a groundskeeper who made the college aware of a homeless student, groundskeeper or facilities custodian who just simply told a student hi and said, oh, hey, you aren't in class today, or they just simply being seen oftentimes is so critical. So if we have that happening in the classroom and happening outside of the classroom, I can only imagine the depth and richness of what we bring to our students. My last question, because I'm not keeping track of time, I'm assuming somebody's going to tell me in a minute I'm going too long. What facet of your work inspires you the most? What facet of your work inspires you the most? Ken, since you smiled first, I'm going to go to you.
The people I work with. And that's the good ones and the bad ones and those in between. I mean, I'm sum it up this way. It's team innovation and team inspiration. On a given project, people come together. They may not like each other on a given day, but they recognize the purpose and they recognize the opportunity to do something different. They'll have a powerful impact and they have an enduring impact. And they put aside all of that so that a student who doesn't have an opportunity will get one. That's what I love about this place. I don't care who it is. If they don't like it, that's fine, but the student gets the effort. When they get it, everybody likes you.
John?
That's a difficult question in one sense and very easy in another. I think that when I get older, I would like to know or run into a student, and occasionally I do, that says you said something or you did something or you had an impact, a positive impact on my life, and to be able to be part of people's lives that maybe when I'm older or not here anymore, I'm still remembered that I helped them, and I helped them as a representative of Montgomery College, and that just being a part of this institution and being part of these people's lives is very rewarding for me.
Sarah?
What inspires me the most? I feel I am privileged to work in a place that is designed to help people learn and to improve their lives. I had a student actually last semester. It's a recent story. She wrote me a long thank you letter, and the statement that hit me the most was, she said, I still get goosebumps when I think about that. She said, Dr. Khalifa, what you're doing is not a job. She said, it's changing students' lives. I thought that was extremely powerful. When I was teaching at Howard or JMU, I was just a teacher, you know. They need the science from me, I give it to them, and we're cool, right? And that's what I was hired to do, to teach. But at MC, I learned our students need more than a teacher. They need a hero. They need a mentor. They need a role model. So I am happy and I'm inspired to play those roles for them, not just a teacher. So that's inspiring for me. And I often share my stories to them so that they get empowered. If she can do it, I can do it too. You know, English, she had to learn English to do her PhD in the US. So why should I complain about language not being my first language? I often tell them, come on now, guys, English is not my mother tongue. Oh, Dr. Khalifa, I didn't do good because you know it's not my, I have a child. I was doing my PhD when I got pregnant with my first child. Do you have more stories? Like, bring it on. Let's talk. I don't give them any reason to give up. I don't give them any reason not to feel they cannot do it. So let me add one last story. Okay, I'm going to make it short. My former advisor, this is a funny story actually. I keep in contact with my advisor and my former professors. When I told her I got a job at MC, I was like happy, yeah, I'm excited, whatever. She goes, Sarah, are you sure you want to work at a community college? I go, yes. And she's like, oh, whenever you want to come back, you know, my lab is open for you. We can continue to work together, publish papers. I feel like my students need me more than the world of neuroscience. I'm sure that would do good without my active contribution. But my students need me more than anything else, and that's what inspires me to be here.
Pamela.
I'm inspired by being here. I love this diverse workplace. And it's diverse in many ways. And I also think of it in age, younger, seniors. You got lifelong learning. You got every aspect, and it's here, and I get to see it every day. I'm inspired by that. And I love being here because I also get to take the opportunity to take classes. I did photography and I weight training. I did all kind of things, you know. And right now, I started taking pictures at weddings. And I actually had 2 jobs, and they actually paid me.
Right. All right.
And it's because I learned on the Rockville campus in the tech building,
I'm going to
in the
start calling you
basement.
Side Hustle Pam. That's what I got, Side Hustle Pam.
And I learned that here, and I'm like, oh, well, you know, I convinced a coworker to take sign language with me, just so, you know, oh, somebody might come and I can just greet them. And I did that here. So I'm inspired. And the other thing I'm like their cheerleader. I'm like, come on here, you can do anything here. You can learn anything, and it's in your own community.
God love you. Melissa.
Oh, what am I inspired by? Let's think. I think for me, I'm inspired by just encouraging others to come here to work. So this is terrible, but so over the summer I had a health scare, and in 1 week's time I had a radiology technologist that graduated from MC. I had a sonographer that graduated from MC, and a nurse. And my family knows that I will do this, but we'll just start talking, and oh, I'm from MC, oh, so am I work there, you should come teach for us. Like, I've literally been on a stretcher giving them my card saying, I love working at MC, you should come. And honestly, like in health sciences, the majority of our part-time and lots of our full-time faculty are working there because they started at Montgomery College. They got their degree at Montgomery College. So I think that's what inspires me to
So I
bring in
want
more.
to tell you all thank you. You all inspired me, so I know what the first 5 items on my gratitude journal will be today, will be you, because you remind me of why we choose to do this work, what we bring to it, how we choose to show up. And you've reinforced for me, every year I do a personal mission statement, as we talked about, and I always start off with gratitude. That's something I really believe significantly in, but positive energy. And I hope that you all will go into this spring semester having heard from your colleagues in a way that I hope spoke to you personally, reconnected you to a mission. As you go from your meetings here today, as you go into meetings that you're going to be having throughout the week, and we start classes and all the things that we start getting in the cut, when things start getting a little rough, they start getting a little dicey, and we start, what did you say earlier, people we like and with those we struggle with. Preacher, I hear you, There's those moments where you have to remember that, and I want to thank you all for this moment of MC Pride. If we all try to be just a little bit like you with the energy, the passion, the joy, the commitment, the earnestness, I can only imagine the potency of what we could create for our students. So thank you all for being here today, and thank you for sharing your stories. I'd like to take a moment to introduce a couple of updates on projects of interest to the college community. So first, we will start with the MC website redesign and migration presentation by Mr. Timothy Lance and Ms. Emily Schmidt.
Thank you, Dr. Pollard. We officially completed our website migration on December 2nd. Our previous content management system, Ectron, was taken offline, and we are only working with the new CMS, OU Campus, from now on. We had hoped to have a moment like this, though it ended up being just a click of a few buttons. MC's website has come a long way in the past 20 years. From a simple collection of pages in 1999 and 2003 to a more designed approach with new color schemes in 2005 and in 2009. While the design didn't change much from 2009 to 2016, the content expanded to an unmanageable amount. We were challenged to create a new website design that improved the user experience, engaged our audiences, implemented new branding, and had an easy-to-use CMS, which leads us to where we stand today. Our new website features a responsive design, which allows users to have a positive experience regardless of screen size or device. This is essential as our mobile traffic continues to grow. Almost 40% of our off-campus web traffic is viewed on a mobile device. The new design also incorporates a user-focused architecture with a clear navigation structure and readable URLs. This makes our site easier to navigate and improves our search engine optimization. In addition to making our content more manageable, the new CMS helps with consistency. We are one college, and the website reflects this through the use of branded templates and a new style guide. Web pages for credit and non-credit programs look similar. Pages for each MC location are consistent, and all departments use a similar layout.
Thanks, Emily. On the back end, we replaced our old content management system with OU Campus from OmniUpdate. This modern CMS provides us a great platform for managing our website. With a more user-friendly interface, OU Campus puts the focus on content while relieving users of worrying about the technical aspects. We also implemented site-wide analytics by embedding Google Tag Manager into our templates. Tag Manager allows us to track user behavior and gives us a better picture of how our website is aiding in the success of our students and staff. The content migration to this new system was a major undertaking for the web teams of communications and information technology. We identified 262 separate sections of the old website and worked hand in hand with content owners to review, refine, and ultimately migrate their content into the new website. The review process revealed in excess of 15,000 Electron CMS web pages and assets. By streamlining content and removing outdated information, we were able to reduce our content into a much more manageable 1,500 pages in OU. A large piece of this process was the removal of duplicate content. For example, we found more than 10 different pages with directions on how to drive to each campus, all of which were different, and more than a few were outdated and incorrect. Now we have a single section for MC locations, and information only needs to be updated in a single place. Alongside the daunting task of migration, there also existed a need to create a lot of new content. We created resource pages for non-native English-speaking students in 6 different languages, and added new landing pages to key areas such as programs and life at MC. We also launched a new website for hosting internal information, such as HR. With the completion of content migration, we can now dive into other web initiatives. This includes user testing, working on search engine optimization, improving accessibility, and many other tasks. Maintaining the integrity of our website will be key to these efforts and will be an ongoing task. Many staff members worked on the migration. The web teams from OIT and communications worked very closely together, along with staff members from Acosta College who created sections as well. Thanks to the Web Working Group for representing various college subject areas and providing important feedback. Almost every staff member at the college has helped in some way, either reviewing content or preparing new materials. So thank you to everyone that was involved. Now I'd like to introduce Ms. Rebecca Razavi and Ms. Carla Silvestri to provide an update regarding Census 2020.
Thank you, Tim. Good morning. Carla and I are here today to share some important information about the upcoming U.S. Census and some things that you can do to get involved. Our mission is to ensure that all of our students and their families, as well as all of you, our faculty and staff, are going to be counted.
So why should we care about the census? The data from the census determines how government programs are distributed. So this means financial resources are coming back to our community. The data also determines our representation in Congress, and of course, it gives us up-to-date information to better understand our community. Let's watch a short video to learn more.
It's all about power and money. Almost $700 billion per year. And it only happens once every 10 years.
It directly impacts our representation in government
and the money that goes to our communities.
Our schools.
Our housing.
Our neighborhood programs.
Our lives.
So what is it?
The census.
A population count of America. But it's much more than that.
It's the basis of distributing power and money
from the government to our communities.
The unfortunate part is that a lot of us aren't counted.
And it's on us to change that.
When we aren't counted, our communities don't get their fair share.
For each person not counted, their community loses out on over $20,000 over 10 years.
For a household or a family of 5, that community loses out on over $100,000.
But we can change it.
When the census comes in the mail,
fill it out, don't throw it out, or do it online.
And make sure to count everyone in the household.
Little ones too.
Little ones too.
The census begins in 2020. Most households will get a postcard in the mail next March telling them it's census time.
And we're required to fill it out.
The counts will be used to determine how many congresspersons each state gets.
And to draw new congressional maps in 2021.
It's also used to draw maps for basically every level of government.
From the state legislature to school boards.
So this is a huge opportunity for us
to make a direct impact on our communities.
It's critical that we are all counted.
So go ahead, take the pledge.
Pledge to be counted.
Pledge to be counted.
Pledge to be counted.
Because there's too much at stake not to.
I count.
I count.
I count.
I count.
I count.
We count.
Contamos.
We count.
We count.
أن إحنا محسوبين.
Tayo'y kabilang.
We can.
I count!
So what is the census again? Every 10 years, the federal government conducts a population count of everyone in the United States, as mandated by the U.S. Constitution.
So the census counts everyone who resides in the United States, including citizens and non-citizens, documented and non-documented, and even those who are here on an extended visit.
Again, why is it important? Representation. It determines our representation in Congress. Funding. Every year, the federal government distributes hundreds of billions of dollars to states and communities based on census data. And information. Communities use census data to plan for new roads, schools, emergency services, business decisions, and more. For example, every Marylander not counted costs the state approximately $18,250 over 10 years. Those are our local numbers. For a family of 4, that's $73,000 over 10 years, and this equates to the state losing $26.6 billion.
Did you know that the census data also impacts education, both directly and indirectly? For example, did you know that the census is used to determine how much money goes into our federal Pell Grant program? It also determines how much is allocated for adult education programs. It even is used to allocate funds for school breakfast and lunch programs. As you can see, there are also several other vital programs in our community that are impacted by the census.
So what can you expect? In March, in 2 months, every home will receive an invitation in the mail to participate in the 2020 census. You can respond online and also by phone and by mail if you prefer.
In recent months, some people have had concerns about how the census data might be used. We're here to alleviate some of those concerns. By law, the Census Bureau must keep all individual identifiable information confidential for a full 72 years. This includes sharing personal information with other government agencies. In fact, if a Census Bureau employee or a census taker breaks the law, they can be sentenced for up to 5 years in prison or be assessed a fine of $250,000.
So here are some critical things to keep in mind for Montgomery County. There's a big push to do the census online. However, we know that there's many people in our community that don't have internet access and have challenges. And there's also a growing concern about online privacy. Another concern is the citizenship question. It was not included in the census after all, but there was so much media coverage that some people are misinformed or don't trust the process. Another critical issue for Montgomery County are vulnerable populations that have been undercounted in the past. Low-income residents, African Americans, immigrants, seniors, and children under 5. Finally, we have traditional low response tracks, and how do we reach folks in those communities? Montgomery County had a good response rate in 2010, but there are still hard to count tracks. As you can see here, we know the locations in the county with the highest number of non-responders: Germantown, Silver Spring, and East County.
So what are we here at Montgomery College doing to promote the census? Well, first we formed a college-wide Census 2020 committee, and we're working to offer faculty trainings on how you can embed the census lessons into your classes. We also are collecting videos and other materials that faculty can use in their classes to talk about the census, and can provide department-specific trainings if you would like. We'll be sponsoring census festivals on each campus the week of April 20th, so look for notices about that. We're keeping our libraries open to the public for census assistance and computer access on April 1st and 4th, And finally, we've established an MC Census website, which is a portal for information on all of these other activities. And we're going to be using social media and other communications to get information out about the activities that we've got. So be on the lookout.
So we need your help to promote the census with all of our staff, faculty, and students. Here are some opportunities to get involved. We have a sign-up table here today. Attend a professional week information session. Volunteer during the open hours for census help on April 1st and April 4th. Request a presentation for your department so your colleagues can get informed. Discuss census video and guide that is available on the MC Census website in your classes and in your offices. Save the date for the Census Festivals the week of April 21st to the 23rd. And get more information at our Montgomery College Census website.
MC counts, thank you.
Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Jamin Bartolomeo and Dr. Kimberly McNair, who will provide a student affairs update.
Thank you, and good morning. Good morning. My name is Dr. Jamin Bartolomeo, and I'm the Collegewide Dean of Student Access and Germantown Student Affairs. Yes, very long title. I'm here with Dr. Kimberly McNair, and we're excited to talk about some changes that will take place as a result of work being done in alignment with our Student Affairs Master Plan and other major college initiatives. Like me, you've probably heard students say that applying and enrolling at our institution can be quite complex. In other words, it's not very streamlined. Take, for example, the comments made about the application process as heard from our students during the fall 2016 opening meeting. When students were asked about barriers to applying, they said, "The admissions application is difficult. There were different policies at different campuses," and someone noted how alone they felt in the process. These are pretty profound statements and, quite honestly, very concerning for all of us to hear, right? Yes? Okay. Well, how about the student who wants to simply apply to the college and can't find the official entrance to the institution? Is it at enrollment services, counseling and advising, financial aid, welcome center? Well, wherever it is, it's not very clear. Oftentimes, students find themselves walking back and forth to multiple buildings to find help, not to mention the 4 to 6 trips an average student has to take to receive test scores, retake a test, set up a payment plan, complete online orientation, complete an academic orientation, take an advising questionnaire, file for financial aid, and see a counselor for help. Mind you, this is all before a student can even actually think of registering for classes. Clearly, this is not the best experience for any student. And today we'd like to show you how we are beginning to reorganize the student access area to help make the onboarding process easier and more streamlined.
Starting on February 24th, 2020, the current response center and the 3 welcome centers will merge together to create a new department called Raptor Central. Raptor Central will maintain an in-person presence and a phone presence, but it will operate as one larger unit, creating a common student experience and streamlining onboarding and enrollment. As one department, services that were once only available via phone or in person will now be available at all Raptor Central locations, whether in person or over the phone. Please keep in mind the physical locations of the current response and welcome centers will remain. Only the name and services available will change. At the same time Raptor Central changes, the Office of Enrollment Services will be rebranded as Records and Registration, a term that is more identifiable to students and common in the higher education community. So let's take a look at the new functions of these departments. Raptor Central becomes the doorway to the college for new students to start and receive about 90% of the information they need to begin their Montgomery College experience. The goal here is to reduce the number of steps and offices a student has to visit by combining these services under one structure. The new Raptor Central will offer the following services: providing general information to students, supporting students with enrollment questions, helping to process and manage intake of financial aid forms and FAFSA questions, provide troubleshooting with the college's website, give tours, and help review and remove holds, as well as update credit hours as needed. And as a result of the new organization, Raptor Central will now take on the process of admissions applications, providing students with same-day copies of transcripts, taking official test scores and updating them in the student's record, permission to enroll forms, and allowing students to enroll in courses when they're visiting students and granted permission by their institution, process enrollment verification forms, and collect forms for academic appeals, tuition waivers, and graduation.
So next, let's talk about records and registration, where the new office's focus will be on processes that directly impact a student's record or require approval from the registrar. Some of these processes may include registering special student populations or cohorts, processing appeals like tuition, residency, or academic in nature, completing graduation certification, transcript evaluation and transfer credit, veteran certification, completion of complex enrollment verification, completion of program of study changes, and update academic standing and GPA. Faculty-based functions such as course and room scheduling, health science applications, course cancellations, course substitutions, on-time registration, and grade submissions and changes will still remain in this office. But because we expect most student interactions to be handled at the new Raptor Central locations, these changes afford us the opportunity to optimize the hours of service at records and registration. So in the coming weeks, as we finalize the integration model, you can expect to see modifications to the hours of operation and a reduction in counter coverage to allow staff to focus on office processing. Additionally, starting spring 2020, we will begin discussions of centralizing our transcript evaluation process. Currently, transcript evaluators and processes are campus-based, which can be confusing for students. At this point, because we have multiple addresses to where students can send transcripts and an average of 6 weeks turnaround time, 6 weeks turnaround time, to have an initial evaluation completed, it will be critical for us to review how we process requests and get them reviewed in a timely and equitable manner. More information will be forthcoming as we begin to discuss this transition with faculty, staff, and students. For all information related to this alignment, be on the lookout for a college-wide memo from Dr. Brown, Senior Vice President for Student Affairs, in the next few weeks. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them to realignment@montgomerycollege.edu. Thank you. I'd now like to introduce Ms. Donna Shenna and Mr. Steve Drummond, who will speak next.
Good morning. This presentation will provide an update on the goals and priorities of the Department of Public Safety and Emergency Management. We'll outline the enhancements that have occurred over the past 6 years and explain the role of a public safety officer and a special police officer. As stated in college policy, public safety will provide a safe, secure environment which will support and enhance the educational programs and services of the college. Everything public safety does is on creating a climate of safety and security. Our overarching priority is to ensure we have the appropriate staffing levels and our officers have received the appropriate training and support, including the creation of career ladders. It is essential that our officers be trained to ensure the safety of our students, our employees, and our visitors. We are enhancing our relationship with local police agencies to increase collaboration and to benefit from their expertise and resources. The college's focus on public safety has been enhanced over the past several years in response to the realities of threats and incidents that are occurring throughout the country, and specifically on college campuses. Local and national incidents require us to think more extensively about the protection of our students, employees, and visitors. I want to share with you developments within the Department of Public Safety and Emergency Management. There is an infographic on the spring opening meeting website that goes into greater detail on the work that has taken place to date. In 2013, the Office of Campus Safety and Security was reorganized under a College Director of Public Safety and Emergency Management. In 2015, enhancements were implemented that are in keeping with other college campus safety protocols. These enhancements included updated uniforms for our officers, initiated the MC alert system, improved campus signage, and we increased the staffing level of public safety officers on all of our campuses. In 2017, the Board of Trustees approved the role of a special police officer at Montgomery College. Special police officers augment non-certified public safety officers. Between December 2017 and March 2018, campus forums were held to gather input from students and employees. As a result of the input from the campus forums, additional enhancements were implemented. These include the public safety radio system was upgraded. Officers were issued ballistic vests for personal protection. They were also issued high reflective vests for increased visibility, and they received enhanced training on the MC alert system. In November, we began the transition of a campus-based dispatch model to be a central dispatch center. This model is used at other multi-campus colleges as well as police and fire rescue departments. Our first 4 special police officers graduated from the training program at Community College of Baltimore County in November. And we are in the process of promoting existing public safety officers to special police officers. These individuals are former police officers who are currently working as public safety officers at the college. I want to introduce to you Steve Drummond. Steve is the Interim Director of Public Safety and Emergency Management. Steve joined our team last August to assist us in creating a comprehensive public safety program. He comes to us with extensive experience as a police officer and a leader in public safety in K-12 and community colleges. Steve is a retired Howard County Police Captain and has also served as the Director of Public Safety for Howard County Public Schools, Community College of Baltimore County, and Carroll Community College. We will begin a search for a Director of Public Safety and Emergency Management this spring. Steve?
Thank you. Good morning. I want to start by reminding the college community that every Maryland college is required to conduct an active shooter drill annually. The drill this year will focus on a domestic violence incident that will be exercised on each campus later this spring. Details will be announced shortly. To put our plan in perspective, of the 16 community colleges in Maryland, 12 employ special police officers, 4 do not. Of those 12 that have special police officers, 11 are armed. Montgomery College special police officers will not be armed. Montgomery College is creating a hybrid department of public safety officers and special police officers. Special police officers have received in-depth training in responding to active threats and escalating situations. They are equipped with pepper gel, handcuffs, and a collapsible baton for self-defense. Special police officers have the same authority to arrest on campus as a local police officer. Current public safety officers interested in becoming special police officers apply for and are screened for the role of special police officer. The first 4 special police officers were selected, trained, and certified from the ranks of experienced public safety officers at Montgomery College. During the spring semester, we will recruit and hire the permanent director of public safety and emergency management. The visible distinctions between a public safety officer and special police officer are subtle but observable. The patches that the officers wear on each shoulder of their uniform shirt indicate whether they are public safety officers or special police officers. Additionally, the badges worn on the uniform shirt distinguishes which role they serve, either a public safety officer or special police officer. This is a picture of the 2 different badges, the public safety officer on the right and the special police officer on the left. This is a picture of the patch worn on each sleeve of the public safety and special police officer uniform shirt. I am happy to introduce 2 of our fine public safety officers. Deraje Siyum is a public safety officer based on the Takoma Park, Silver Spring campus, and Letitia Dorsey is a special police officer based on the Germantown campus. Each officer is in their full uniform, including the distinguishing characteristics I shared with you. Thank you, officers, for being here today, and thanks to all of our public safety officers who are dedicated to the critical role in maintaining the safety of thousands of employees, students, and visitors to Montgomery College every day. The result of this effort is the Department of Public Safety and Emergency Management, whose officers provide a visible and proactive presence and ensures a safe learning and working environment, so critical to the success of Montgomery College. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Mr. Dave Sears to the podium to provide an update on the MC 2020 campaign.
Good morning. Good morning. As Dr. Pollard noted in her remarks, the Montgomery College Foundation has made incredible progress towards its $30 million campaign goal. I want to thank the numerous employees, retirees, volunteers and donors, foundation board members, for their help in working with Joyce Matthews, our Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations, and her magnificent development, alumni, and foundation finance teams for their work on this historic campaign to date. It is the largest in our 74-year history. Over 65% of the funds that have been raised have gone towards scholarships, 31% towards programs. These funds not only help hundreds, if not thousands of students pursue their college education, but play an even greater role. It uplifts them, it motivates them, it's inspiring to them to know that strangers, people they don't even know, care. The caring of our donors does not stop with our students. They've shown how they care about our employees as well, and how important it is, that role of the employees in student completion. With that lead in, let me introduce Ms. Gloria Aparicio Blackwell, Chair of the college's Board of Trustees. Gloria is here to share a very important and exciting announcement in this regard. Gloria.
Thank you, Dave. Good morning. Buenos dias. I know you have heard a lot today, but I know this news is going to make you the world rock. My name is Gloria Aparicio Blackwell, and I have the privilege and honor of serving as the chair of the Montgomery College Board of Trustees. I have been a member of the board since 2009, but more importantly, I am proud to be an MC alumna. Thank you. I came to Montgomery College to learn English. I hope I'm doing well. When I arrived in the United States from Venezuela, and I took my classes here at this very campus. It looks so different and beautiful. Does this indeed give me a great pleasure to be here today to announce a wonderful commitment made by a former trustee, Dr. Robert Schomburg. Dr. Robert, thank you for all you have done for us, and he has put a high bar to us trustees. Dr. Schomburg served on the Montgomery College Board of Trustees from 1995 to 2007, and then on the Montgomery College Foundation Board of Directors from 2007 until 2013. Last year, he had this discussion with the college leadership regarding his deep passion to support the professional development of Montgomery College part-time faculty. Dr. Schomburg, yes, let's do the... Dr. Schomburg, who is also an educator, understands the critical need to support the trajectory of these professionals. He knows that financial provisions can potentially create a pathway to elevate the professional careers of faculty from part-time to full-time. In the spirit of true philanthropist and educator, he decided to turn his passion into a $600,000 legacy gift to Montgomery College Foundation. We are so grateful for this transformational gift that will provide an opportunity each year for 3 selected part-time faculty members to participate in a sabbatical for professional development. This annual competitive process will be open to all part-time faculty who have taught at Montgomery College for at least 4 semesters and have a doctorate or other terminal degree. The good news is that recipients of this award will receive financial support for much-needed research and professional development. Information of this application process is forthcoming from the Montgomery College Institute for Part-Time Faculty Engagement and Support. We're ecstatic and deeply grateful for this legacy gift that have the potential to elevate the professional career of Montgomery College faculty. Please join me in a resounding welcome back to Montgomery College for this great educator, visionary leader, philanthropist, and trustee emeritus, Dr. Schomburg. Please join me here on the stage.
People were talking this morning about how long they had been at the college. I figured that this year is the 25th anniversary or the 25th year since I started as a member of the Board of Trustees. So I've had a long association with the college, which continues, not simply through this gift, but I have been teaching in the Lifelong Learning Institute for about 10 years now, and having a wonderful time doing it. So I thank the college for that opportunity as well. I spent my life in higher education, starting as a graduate student and as a teacher, as an administrator, as a consultant. I have visited one way or another something in excess of 230 campuses. I have never seen one as with the kind of spirit, as well managed, as high performing as Montgomery College. When I came on the Board of Trustees, I realized that this was going to be the best experience I'd had in higher education, and it was. Needless to say, having spent all that time in higher education, I continue to pay attention to what goes on. I still subscribe to the Chronicle of Higher Education, which probably, and feel compelled to read it on my computer every day. And the thing that distressed me most, and I have some personal acquaintance that adds to that, is the situation of part-time faculty members who are teaching 6, 8 courses a semester at 2 or 3 different institutions, and how difficult it is to break out of that cycle. And so I thought if there were some way I could do something for even a few people in that situation, that I would like to do that. That's the reasoning behind this gift to the college. I hope that it will work. I hope that it will be an inspiration for other people to pay some attention to this group of people in higher education who are not in the kind of situation in which they wish to be, but would like to go on to something that is more permanent and more lucrative. And so this opportunity to spend a semester free of at least some of their teaching duties in order to work on a scholarly or research or artistic project of some kind that may enhance their opportunity to get to a situation that is more permanent and stable. I hope that if some of you are in that category, that you will take advantage of the fellowship that is being offered. I am delighted to be able to make this gift to a very wonderful college and to have it administered by a group of people in whom I have the utmost confidence. So thank you for this. I thank you for this opportunity for me, and I hope that it will prove fruitful. Thank you.
So Dr. Schomburg, on behalf of the Montgomery College Board of Trustees, and I'm going to acknowledge Dr. Les Levine that he's here from the board as well, and Dr. Paula and the Montgomery County and the Montgomery College community, thank you. He just stepped, but thank you, Dr. Schomburg, for your vision and transformational philanthropist. And now let me welcome Dr. Wright, the Senior Vice President for Academics.
Thank you, Dr. Schoenberg, for investing in our part-time faculty. Your generosity, vision, and commitment to making a tangible improvement in higher education is greatly appreciated. Let's get Dr. Schoenberg another round of applause. Our part-time faculty bring a wealth of passion, experience, and expertise to the college. When I was new in this position and we began the process of restructuring academic affairs, 3 part-time faculty came to see me. They asked me about the goals and the vision about the student success. These 3 gentlemen are with me, David Newman, Bill Pramush, and Ms. Stropin. Give them a round of applause. They asked me, how can part-time faculty help? How can they be part of the initiatives to increase the student success? Their leadership has been invaluable in thinking about how the college invests in support and resources for our part-time faculty, our partners in student success. That conversation led to the development of the Part-Time Faculty Institute for Engagement and Support and the development of resource centers that have been created on each campus. I cannot state strongly enough how important it has been to have a space for part-time faculty to do work outside the classroom, prepare for classes, meet with the students, return phone calls and emails, and connect with fellow faculty. As the college invested in the physical space, we also thought about investing in part-time faculty for professional development, both on things internal to the college, like onboarding a new part-time faculty member, and engaging them in the academic affairs, student success initiatives, like program success strategies and DFW reduction effort. This led to the development of the Part-Time Faculty Institute Conference. Over 1,000 part-time faculty members have attended the 5 conferences that have kicked off each of the last 5 academic semesters. The 6th was held this past Saturday in spite of a very chilly weather. In addition, we have assured that part-time faculty have the opportunity to participate in the Scholarship for Excellence in Teaching program, which provides an opportunity to reflect on pedagogy and develop new teaching tools, all to benefit our students. Continued part-time faculty development offered through this gift to the foundation by Dr. Schoenberg will provide opportunities so that our valued part-time faculty may eventually become valued full-time faculty here at MC or elsewhere. Since the academic affairs restructuring, the college has acknowledged and honored our outstanding part-time faculty through excellence awards, including part-time faculty of the year recipients who receive an award of $5,000. Nominations are due on March 1. Let's nominate our outstanding part-time faculty members. I have benefited from many conversations with my 3 wise colleagues who are here with me on this stage, who know that ensuring the part-time faculty are fully integrated into the fabric of the college and have the support that they need to succeed in the classroom contributes to student success. Part-time faculty contributions are evolving. In addition to their traditional role in the classroom and learning centers, they now serve as embedded coaches and also achieving the promise coaches. This spring semester, almost 100 part-time faculty are working as ATPA coaches. We have so many capable students who are able to succeed with additional support, learning, and skills that can be applied in future classes and in life as well. I will end with a simple and most sincere thank you, Dr. Schoenberg, who has chosen to invest in our part-time faculty and will change many lives, and to all of you who asked what you could do and had delivered by doing so much. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Brad Stewart.
A Chevy Chase introduction or entrance there. So I hope you all found the program informative and inspiring. As we prepare for the rest of the day, here are a few announcements. The AAUP will meet right in this very room. The SEIU meeting will be held in K-Fritz, right next door, 101. And the AFSFE meeting is upstairs in Theater 2. So have a great rest of the day, and we wish you a very successful spring semester for our students, the college, and you. Thanks for all you do for MC. And if anybody lost an iPhone, see Kim in the lobby.